What's up, everybody? I'm Jason. This is Freebird Garage. Today we are cutting and buffing the rear fender and fairing today, getting them prepped and ready so we can start to reassemble the FXR-T. All right, I got 2 stations set up. Let's dive into it and get it done. Cutting and buffing today. This is an art form in itself that we're diving into. Oh man, and it can also be the most pain in the ass because if you go through the clear coat right to your paint, you got to do it all over. You got to shoot your clear once again. Not the end of the world, but just another step in the process. Using more material, just a lot of stuff you don't want to have to do again. So we're going to just take our time on getting this done. I shot my rear fender different from when I shot my fairing. Both same black, same clear, but the process I did was more of a test and trial run on the rear fender. It came out all right, but I got a lot of orange peel, so this is going to be a good test to see how well that I laid it down to be able to see if it doesn't go through the clear. I really hope it doesn't because I just don't want to go through that process. But luckily, on the rear fender, it is just black. It was damaged. We cleared it up. We used a hammer and all that, got all the dings out, came out beautiful. The best part is we shoot it black, hit it with clear. It's done in one shot. The other one has pinstriping, and I really do not want to go through that because that becomes a nightmare in the whole process of getting that fairing done. And it's the rear fender, so it's always black on the 88 FXR-Ts. The bags have the pinstriping to match the fairings, so we can go and then another process another day. But for now, let's get into the sanding. Let's get it done. First part is making sure that everything is soaked to the bone. Water is key. So we're gonna get this down to the best parts. And we want to stay away from, I would call it the car lines, but the fender lines is what we want to stay away from on here. And that's essentially like this corner area. We just want to briefly touch that in any of these sharp edges here. You know, it doesn't look sharp, but it's sharp enough when you're sanding, and making sure we don't hit that because it is so light. Doesn't matter how many coats you put on there, it is just so light on the edges that we want to make sure that we don't go through the clear once again. All right, so let's hope this works. And I laid down enough clear. If not, we'll be stopping and hitting the fairing. All right, it's a little hard to see, so let's turn some lights on, make this just more practical. There we go. 1, 2. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so now you can see the orange peel coming through that we're gonna be clearing up. Kind of see all that speckle, looks like orange floating through. I want to get that shininess, and usually it'll be smooth to touch when we get to it, but that's what we're going to try and get rid of very, very gently on there. So now you can see the difference. There's the painted black and our sanded down now 1000. Still got to do our sides, but you can see the difference of what's going on. Actually looks way smoother, more uniform to what it should look like. So we'll keep hitting it on the 1000 to the side now. All right, so we have our first round sanding all finished. That is 1000 grit. Some of the shinier spots I left because they are in very sharp areas, and if I dig into it, I know I'm gonna blow right through the clear. So it'll end up blending for the most part all together once we get to it, but super smooth on top. That's what I wanted to feel. You could feel the ripple before on that, you know, that orange peel that was going on here, so that's all gone. So we're gonna switch to 1500, 2000, and then 3000. This step usually goes pretty fast. So there we are. Let's hit it with the 1500 now. All right, done with the 1500, smoothed out even more of the high spots, so it's looking pretty good. A little wet in some of the areas, but overall that's the look. Smooth out, real nice. So we're gonna hit it with the 2000 halfway through. All right, it's looking pretty smooth. Got just about all of the little specks of high gloss out of there. Now we're hitting it with the 3000, and then we'll get to buffing this. All right, working on the buff portion of the rear fender. We got it all smoothed out. Extremely smooth to touch, like feels like glass going across. Feels awesome, so I'm super happy how that came out. Got all the good stuff, look at that. Still got a dull, which is to be assumed. We sanded it, so that's what's gonna end up happening. Now the fun part, to bring that shine back to what it was, better than when we shot it, right? So we're gonna be using first this Wizards compound right here. Goes for like 50 bucks. This stuff is not cheap at all. It's supposed to be really good, really easy to work with. And I'm gonna go outside what normally you would do, which is actually use like a type of buffer, wool pad, a foam pad, and go on there. I have a machine for it. The problem is I don't have a way right now to keep this still. So I'll get some spots probably down, and then the other spots it could shoot across and or dig into the paint. That's just nasty scenario. So we're gonna do it by hand. I think we still can make it look good by doing it. I've done it before in other cases, so we're gonna hit this by hand first and see how it comes out. It does say it removes 1,200, 1,500, and 2,000 scratches or 2,000 grit. We have 3,000 grit on there, so we should be good. All right, let's get to buffing. Smells really good. Best part about this stuff, it's got like Caranuba wax, I think it's in there. Always smells really good. Man, I don't know, this stuff's going pretty smooth. I feel like it's not gonna come out. Wonderful. To figure out a way to hold this thing down. This just doesn't feel right. I feel like I'm gonna have to get that buffer out here, or get a hand one. So we'll see how this goes first. Well, doing it by hand doesn't seem possible, so we're gonna bring in some power, do it the right way, get it cleaned up. Hopefully it don't burn through the clear coat. All right, so let's start buffing, see how it comes out. All right, for the most part, we are pretty much buffed out. I got a couple pieces that just need to be cleaned up. I got compound in my hand there, but overall it looks pretty good. I mean, this is basically what my rear fender of my stock 92 FXRs look like, kind of over the years and dullness. We're gonna hit that with a polish. I think I'm gonna have to go back and wet sand some areas, but I'm not gonna keep digging into it. Probably do it on the side here and get that done, but we're gonna hit it with some polish, see what it actually looks like on a final pop, and then we'll hit the fairing. All right, so let's get done. Let's see our first pass through. See if we got a nice shine coming through. All right. Oh yeah. All right, much better. Just gotta trust the process, that's all. Okay, all right, definitely came out better. See the reflection. You still go at it on some sides, but all right, looking better. Got a lot of practice to do on this to make it real show finish, but all right, we're gonna stop here on this side. We're gonna jump over to the fairing. I'm gonna take off a little bit on that project. Bam, fairing out of the darkness and now into the light, and here it is. I think it looks good the way it is, but we need to wet sand it. We got some blemishes that are up here from the stuff that landed into it. Not a big deal, we're gonna just wet sand that down, but before I go and scuff the whole thing up, show you guys how beautiful this fairing actually came out. Stoked. It's a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun to do this one. A lot of work, but anything worth doing ain't easy, right? So let's get to wet sanding, get all these blemishes cleared up, and let's cross our fingers that we don't go through anything and have to reshoot. So I'm keeping everything on the back right now taped off until we get done with this method, all right? We're gonna start off with our 1,000 and see how that comes out. 1000 grit laid out. We're gonna hit it with 1500. Got a lot of the blemishes sanded out. There are spots that I'm purposely not gonna hit in here. There's so many sharp edges that I do not want to go through. This is gonna be an area too where the light's gonna sit in. It's not gonna be noticed. It's gonna stay glossy, so we're gonna be good there. Unless if somehow this really changes, then I'm gonna have to get in there. But right now I got the main spots, the main area, all sanded down with the major 1000. We're gonna hit a 15, 2000, and then the 3000. All right, so let's keep on moving along. I know this is probably repetitive, but we're on 2000 now. All right, let's scrub it down. And lastly, 3000. We are finally ready to bring back the shine. It has been a long one, and I am ready to see if this works. It's gonna have to be probably a two-part process to do all this. So try to get the main portion to show you guys what we're working with, and then hopefully maybe we'll finish this up on the next one there, and everything looks pretty good. All right, so let's get at it. All right, see how our first round shaping up here. Got some water going on. It's there, but it needs a lot of work. So I keep hammering at it. Hopefully I can get you guys a better, clearer shot here of it being cleaned up and actually finished a bit more here. All right, so back to it. All right, so I did some mixtures a little off camera to get this process moving a little bit faster. And look, we have the shine back, better than ever. Looks awesome. Mirror finish, no orange peel, and I needed a heavier compound than what I had there. So I got a heavy compound there. Then I went with the medium compound from Wizard, and then their polish, of course, that I've been showing you guys, all their stuff right here. And got that mirror finish come back. So I got a rotation of what I'm doing. Just got to go through the whole fairing in itself. But for now, that about wraps for me on this one. I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button, tap that like, press that notification, leave a comment below and tell me what you think. And for those who are already subscribed, thank you. As always, stay free. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.